Welcome to the podcast about investing in startups, where existing investors can learn how to get the best deal possible. And those that have never before invested in startups can learn the keys to success from the venture experts. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to TFR for a special installment of Investor Stories. In this segment, the investors tell a story about some of the most odd and unusual situations they've ever encountered as investors. This is the segment called The Strange and Unusual. On today's special segment, we have Scott Kupor of Andreessen Horowitz. Scott, can you tell us a story about the craziest situation or pitch you've encountered? Everybody's favorite.
We've seen some really crazy things actually in space. In fact, we saw this great business, which I don't know if it's still around, but effectively they were going to mine, I want to say platinum maybe, I'm not sure. It might have been platinum, but they were literally going to figure out how to get things into space, basically blast apart meteors or something in space, and then figure out a way to get them back to Earth in order to mine to mine the platinum that was actually kind of a remnant of those meteors. And I'm probably getting the science wrong here for sure. But it was a phenomenally great idea, and it was amazing, right? And you can imagine, of course, if you could literally mine platinum. I think platinum, per ounce is way more expensive than gold. And so you would have this tremendously valuable resource. But to make this company work, you had to first, figure out, okay, can they get this stuff into space? Can they figure out how to kind of break things up in space? Then can you figure out how to get it back into the Earth's atmosphere without actually, effectively disintegrating. And then once you're there, do you actually have a method for mining the platinum out of these things? So it was phenomenally exciting. I think it was one of those things where you kind of feel like you almost have to invest in it, because if it works, it's a, $1 trillion company. Unfortunately, we didn't do it. And I have to say, I haven't followed the company, so I don't know if it's still around, but it was just phenomenally inventive idea from some incredibly smart people who, kind of were absolutely convinced, and they probably are right that they're going to figure out how to do this.
On this special segment, we have Melody Ko of NextView Ventures. Melody, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
All right, I have a good one. This is actually not at NextView. This was when I was at Time Warner as an associate. I'm not going to name this company, nor am I going to name this founder. This company at the time was pitching us for Series B in the digital media space. They actually have Spark Capital as their Series A investor. So this narrows the list a little bit, but still pretty long. Time Warner investment team was located at Time Warner HQ, which at the time was at Columbus Circle in the Time Warner building. It's a traditional corporate building, right? It's on the 34th floor and all that. The founder came in for the pitch, and this guy came in with a pair of pink shorts. I don't even remember. I vaguely remember it's somewhat hot, but it's not 100 degrees outside. Nor was this a Friday afternoon. And he was meeting with the head of the group, which is the SVP at Time Warner, and me and our managing director. And this guy, I was just I know that startup, blah, 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 right? Hoodie. But do you really have to wear a pair of pink shorts? Come on.
Flip-flops as well? That would be great.
I can't remember. I think they were loafers. And then he actually said, I remember this. He was after this pitch, I had to get on the bus/train to go to Boston for my board meeting at Spark. So he was prepared to wear his pink shorts to go to the board meeting. Yeah. So that was fun. We didn't end up invest, and the company didn't end up working out. But
you kind of have to know your audience, right? When it's a sort of buttoned up corporate environment.
We never really ask people to wear suits, obviously, because we're venture investors.
Yeah.
But, most people come in with pants as opposed to shorts.
On today's special segment, we have Tom Tunguz of Redpoint. Tom, can you tell us a story about the craziest situation or pitch you've encountered?
Yeah.
I got some good ones for you today, Tom.
These are tough questions. Okay, so a fun one is one of my partners set up a pitch for me, and he sent me the address. He didn't tell me anything about this company. And I show up at a house in Los Altos, and I knock on the door, and I'm like, is this the right place? And he said, yeah, absolutely, it's the right place. I meet the founder, and we have a tea in his living room, and then he invites me upstairs. And I'm like, what?
That's weird.
I follow him upstairs, and there's a bedroom, and he said, I'd like you to get in the bed. And so I get in the bed, I take off my shoes, and it turns out it's a mattress company.
Like a Casper competitor?
Yeah, but it's much more sophisticated than that. There's this book called Why We Sleep, which is the science about sleep.
Yep.
This company is commercializing the research, and so had built this bed and this entire bedroom that was designed to get you to sleep as quickly as possible. And I tell you, 30 seconds later, I was asleep.
No way.
I put my head on the floor, on the bed. Yeah. So the bed does a couple of different things. The first is it changes the temperature depending on where you are in the sleep cycle. So your body's temperature actually fluctuates while you sleep, and so it figures out over time what the best temperature is. It's got a heater and a fan, and so it like suck or blow air. And the second thing it does is the bed actually undulates. Like it right when you're falling asleep, it has this like slow moving wave that goes through the mattress, and it's the closest feeling. The feeling that I can relate it to is when you were rocked to sleep as a child.
Wow.
That's what it brought back for me. And then there's this like white noise thing going on, and the lights are all anyway.
Wow.
That was the craziest pitch.
I take it you didn't do the deal.
No, I wanted to buy a bed though.
I want to. I want to look this up and buy one. I got my Aura ring and
those are great.
It is great. I got it like a week and a half ago, but the bad news is the data is not what I'd like it to be. My sleep is much worse than I expected.
At least you have the data. Now you can figure it out.
That's right.
But yeah, all these innovations are going to be amazing.
On today's special segment, we have Jim Douglas of Fulcrum Equity Partners. Jim, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable pitch that you've ever received?
It's not a strange pitch. Can I just say a cool business? Because I just saw it again today.
Of course.
And it's a consumer play, so we'd never do it. But this guy is going to be wildly successful. Is a company called Get Spiffy.
Get Spiffy. Nice.
Do you know it?
No.
It's a mobile car wash business. And it's the CEO is the CEO of Channel Advisor out of the Raleigh-Durham area. Took that public, was wildly successful in that. And this is his second gig or third gig, probably. But so it's mobile car wash, right? So the convenience of it, nice app. He comes to my house. I get our 2 cars washed. And then he adds to it oil change because he's got this easy system on the truck to change oil.
Love it.
Now he's added to that filter changes, tire changes. And he's got these 3 different size vans. And I would never invest in a consumer business. I would definitely never invest in one that was capital intensive. But this is a great business.
Wow.
Because it's such a need and it's so convenient and it's scaling like mad. It's doing really well. And I just saw it again today. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's just a lot of moving parts and a lot of capital. And I get it. But it's the whole notion of how many things you get a beachhead with a customer and what else can you sell them while you're in the driveway?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
I love it. I mean, it goes back to your point about the quality of the team, because I've seen mobile oil change as a business. I feel like I've seen that probably 10 times over the past 7 years, and none of them have gone anywhere. And then he finds a frequent use case, which is washing your car, and then pairs that with other value-added services.
And then he also goes to office buildings and says, let me set up in your...
Brilliant.
Instead of having Johnny do all the car washing, let me do it. It'll be reputable. I'll give you a kickback and cut, I guess would be a better way to say it. So he's got the one-to-many, builds brand. And then I also, then you have him come to your house on the weekend and wash your cars on the weekend. So it's like, it's really scaling. What I like seeing is ones that you have to stick with what you know and what you're comfortable with. But it's always enjoyable to me to see somebody just break the rules on what I would consider difficult rules. And he's absolutely broken them. It's amazing the number of things you can sell off the back of a truck to somebody around your car. Your car has a lot of needs.
Yeah. Well, if they're in Chicago, my car will be getting spiffy this weekend.
You should look. I think they're in Chicago.
Wow.
You put the app on your phone. You get the app on your phone. It's easy.
Love it. That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.